just setting the camera for best visibility, checking if my words are audible. I am audible. Anyways, okay. Oops. So let me shift the camera a bit. Yeah, perfect. Everything is perfect. I think so. Today I will be working on the arms part and will be refining a bit here and there. Again, my main focus will be on building the form, okay, using just two pigments, umber and titanium white. Okay, nothing more. Let's get started. First thing first. Okay, this is completely dry. So let's mix some colors. I should have removed these colors, I know. It is me being just lazy. And probably this laziness is gonna cost me some time. I can still remove the color. Yeah, I will. I was supposed to be live at 11:45. So I got live early. Instead, I think I should have cleaned the palette first. Anyways, since you can clearly see, it is very easy to remove colors from a glass palette. It might seem difficult to you right now because Ah, because I have kept this palette here. Instead, if I would have just taken it out of this stand, it would have been very, very easy for me. Okay. Anyways. Benefit of using inexpensive pigments, you don't regret wasting colors. Anyways, now that I'm done with it, I can use linseed oil. Yeah. It might seem dry to you guys, but it was not completely dry. Okay. So I remove this color by just introducing linseed oil to it. See how it works. So I added a bit of linseed oil on this tissue paper of mine, and here it is. Clear, ready for painting. Right. This is the transitional color before removing everything. So it is dark, can be used in shadow, certainly. Anyways, I might be needing a bit more raw umber. Feeling आ रही है, I'll be needing more of raw umber, pretty sure. Anyways, just one color for the time being. Another lighter version of it. Enough for like the shadow part, and possibly this one for the lightest part. See, means I have added liquid to all these three different shades. Actually, they are called tints, not shades. Shades are when we add black to a color, and tints are when we add white to a color. So I haven't added black, just added white. So technically it's called tint, not a shade. But yeah, who cares? So this is almost like average skin color, right? Bit light, but it'll do. How about no, 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 not this. I want to have a color which is in between these two. Okay. If this is for the shadow, I need to have something for the skin tone as well, right? No, this is in between. Okay, I'll work with it. Anyways, focusing on the anatomy part, like these might seem pretty minute or not much important right now, but you know, little things, they cause significant changes. Okay, little things, not too dramatic or something. It's the little things that matters the most. Trust me when I say it. In terms of life as well, you know. So I think it's little things that matter the most. It's not about grand gesture that's happening. It's little things like the way you live your life every day. That's what matters. Not how you spend your holidays. Holidays is just a part of your life. It can't be your whole life, right? Except some people, in general terms. Anyways, it's just me babbling random shit while painting. Because this this is what happens when you paint. Like, reach in a state of nothingness, and you're just going with the flow, doing some things here and there, making some minute changes in the painting while just being there and letting yourself do everything on its own. Letting yourself do things on its own. In a way, it's called surrendering in a way. Okay, it's a bit complicated because what can it mean by letting yourself paint? It's how can I put it? It's more like letting yourself be an observer instead of the artist yourself. When you are in this state of flow where you where the painting actually starts talking to you in a way, and you just listen. Like it will tell you what to do, what not to do. Okay, like there is a continuous conversation going on between the artist and the artwork. Like, bro, ये शायद ऐसे होगा, and you'll be like, हाँ हाँ ठीक है कर रहा हूँ यार, रुक जा. It's not just like right now I'm not in that state, I think so, but sometimes it happens. Okay, and that emotion is pretty blissful. If there is an artist who is listening to my babbling, if you have experienced something similar, please do let me know. Okay. So here it is. Don't worry too much about the values right now. Okay, like it can be off a bit. Don't have to worry much, because eventually you will paint skin tones on it, right? So think it makes sense. What I did. Yeah, I can improve it a bit. For this, I need a different brush. Okay, I need a little bit. It's a brush which can move, not this very hard bristle brush. Okay, brush which can actually apply your color. Can you see the difference between? Probably you. I think it's visible. The difference between these two brushes, the one that I was using initially and the one that I'm using right now. This brush is actually applying the paint. That one was dragging paint here and there. Both has their own purpose, and I enjoy painting. That's it. In short, it's nice. By the way, last time I was talking about form shadow and cast shadow. So this is a cast shadow because this shadow is being casted by the dress, right? It's not how. Uh, this is a cast shadow, not a form shadow. This is a form shadow, the one from dark reaching towards light. Okay. Anyways, let's focus on the shape. Okay, because it's important. Shape of every muscle is important. Okay, where the connection begins, where it ends, it's important. Someone is celebrating his birthday right now. Cool. Yeah, I live in a hostel in IIT Kharagpur. So surprisingly, people are celebrating birthday in a very decent way. Decent way, DECNT. Because generally, generally these people act in a very crazy way. Okay, they have lots of birthday bumps and pretty rough type of birthday I've seen people celebrating here. I've done that during my post graduation times, I think. During my graduation times, not my post graduation times. I never give birthday bumps. Those who don't know me personally, well, I do powerlifting as well. So I'm quite a strong guy. That's why I never give birthday bumps. I don't know if I'd wrongly hurt someone. So that's why. It has been my motto, and I think for past when I completed my graduation in 2018, I think. Yeah. After graduation, I never gave birthday bumps to anyone, I'm pretty sure. During graduation, I don't remember much. It's long back. Anyways. Just focusing on the value part. Lightness and darkness, nothing much. Okay. So last time I was unable to bring very dark colors because already my brush was pretty, how can I put it, affected by the white color. So it is difficult to go darker. Okay. Now I can. That time I couldn't. See how beautiful it adds dimension to painting. By the way, this is also not the darkest that I can go. It's umber. Okay. It's burnt umber. Sorry, raw umber. I can, if I'd add black, so that will be like next level. That's the reason why we don't add black in the beginning. Because what if we want to add more darkness to a place? If we are not having black, then we won't be having this liberty of doing it. Not liberty, actually capability. Anyways, so I hope this makes a bit more sense than how it was initially. You know, thing is, if you're using photograph as a reference, it is very difficult to paint because you can see a lot of details and you don't know what to look for, what to ignore. And that's where the craziness comes in. So that's why I ask whoever is learning by looking at my videos, though I know that there's a plentiful of other channels where you can learn the same things. In fact, I have learned from them. But in this process, I have developed my own understanding of painting, and I'm still learning. Okay, so I'm not gonna claim that I am a master of anything at all. I just love to paint, and here I'm painting. As simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. this shadow part below. Actually, I was not supposed to, like I was supposed to actually work on some another portion, but here I am, just enjoying painting, enjoying having fun while painting. Isn't it a blessing to be able to paint and have fun in the process? I know it's too dark, but okay, I can work on it. Okay. I made it lighter, just a hint lighter. Lovely. Anyways, I'll work on the shadow later. First, let's fill the crevices of the canvas with color. Okay, this is going to help in the later stages of painting. Now, stupid me. Anyways, I hope it remains intact. Yeah, it is. Let me lower down the camera a bit so you guys can see the hand part. Now that I am not too tired, I can work on this form. So how I'm gonna do this is, first of all, let's mix color which is in between these two. Okay. And let's first of all try to understand the form, what it is. Like this part is, I know I should be using hog hair brush, but hog hair won't be able to apply the color like this. So this is the trade-off I'm doing. It might affect my brush, but ठीक है. What I'm doing is I'm just finding the shadow part and creating the boundary between light and shadow. Just that's it. Nothing too fancy, nothing too much. Just that much. Okay. So I'll tell you a trick. Very simple. And once you understand it, it's so intuitive. I'll tell you. Okay. Anyways, so the trick is, first draw the shadow, the one that I'm doing right now. Okay. All the colors in shadow is filled. Of course these lines are supposed to be drawn as well. Shadow done. Okay. Now let's draw the light part. How about here? Here the shadow is a bit lighter than the one above. So I'm just gonna mix this color. Okay. For this portion, let's use hog hair brush. Okay. Now let's go towards the light part. Is this too light? No, it's just perfect. So just adding the color, keeping tiny gap in between the light and the shadow. Now that this part is filled, as I was talking about the trick. Okay, so light is here, shadow is here, so in between is just the transitional zone. So you simply blend it. Okay, and you will find the form bending. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but suddenly this makes sense. Find the light, find the shadow, fill them, then blend them. As simple as that. Here the shadow is like a bit lighter than this shadow, as I can see in the reference image. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is just simply this. Of course, I butchered the form in the process. So now we can fix it by using this brush. This was the hog hair brush which I was using initially. It is very rough, very stiff brush. This is in between. It's not too rough or too solid in a way. Okay. So let's make this form again here. Okay. So it looks like a bottleneck, where in the reference I can see clearly one line straight, another edge, and here it is. So I think this is supposed to be a bit straighter. Just this and a sharp line like this. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, it's better, but the value is all off. It's not supposed to be this light. So this light or this dark. So here I am just merging the foam together. If you are off a bit as far as value is concerned at this stage of painting, don't worry too much. Eventually you will work on the value part, okay, and you will keep on refining it and it will get better. So don't have to worry about this right now. Okay. I think it is good enough. I'm gonna do the same thing on the hands part. First, filling the color. Okay. Of course, this part is still gonna be a bit darker, so keeping that in mind, just making this form a bit more prominent. Okay, so here it is. I can clearly see a lot of details, but right now I'm choosing to ignore them because if I'll be caught in those things, I won't be able to paint. That's not what I want. Oh, most of the times, just because the darker color is deep in the crevices of the canvas, it generally do not lose its visibility even after you overpaint on it. Sometimes it does. Apparently that sometimes happened right now. Anyways, I might lose the details. So let me first paint it so that it will remain even after. The thing with these soft bristle brushes is that you have to push them inside. Okay, the color deep inside the crevices of the canvas. Anyways, now that I'm done with it, and since I'm having a lot of patience right now, at least, don't know about the future, so I think I'm good enough. I can work on a few things, details, because working in fingers and hands, it takes a lot of effort, honestly speaking. It does. Now nothing is evident what I'm painting, what it is. Okay, but once I am done with it, it will become evident. Anyways, so let's first mix a bit more of raw umber, okay, and liquid, because I want my painting to dry sooner. I'm just going ballistic. I'm just going crazy a bit. Whatever I'm seeing, I'm doing. I'm just mixing. I mean, painting all these lights and shadows. Whatever I'm seeing, I'm doing. Okay, maybe I might get might do things a bit more than what I should in this stage of painting, but still I'm doing it because yeah, why not? Okay, now let's define each and every form first. Okay, this one, this very soft, beautiful. The benefit of having a paint on the surface where you want to paint is that the paint will flow easily, at least. Okay. Just don't, just have the color which is not too off, too away from the intended color, okay? Value wise, at least. Try to have that. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you or anyone to why I painted this with dark. Okay, this is Ishre. I have made this type of error. Okay, okay. Let's just focus on one format at a time, because focusing on a lot more things will actually ruin the beauty of a painting. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now. Not ruining the painting, focusing on one form at a time. Okay, so now comes the chance for the nails. And yes, it is difficult, but let's just focus on one thing at a time. Okay. The value isn't much different. Value of the nails and of the skin color. So that is what makes it very difficult to paint. Still, here I am painting. Ugly. Yeah, ugly. Let's fix it. Actually, it is not even visible, okay, so why am I even trying this hard? There's no point in it, okay. So, yeah. Let's give this nail polish a color. At least that way I can distinguish it from the skin. Toss a coin to your witch. Okay, one form almost done. Almost, not completely. So, yeah, anyways. So, here comes another. I know I should have two paint brushes, for one for light, one for dark, and here I am using one for everything. Utter nonsense. ठीक है यार, who cares? Enjoy the painting process. That's it. Okay. Just drawing the outlines. I'll refine them with time, of course I will. Right now, just focusing on minute things. Okay, let's make some, means paint something which is easy, because this everything is so difficult that it is in a way irritating me right now. Okay, done. I am, but it's a complete mess. Right, of course. Now that I see things, I'm realizing that yes, it is in a way a complete mess. And of course, it wasn't supposed to be like this. So let's do something about it. Now, why it doesn't make sense. So let's keep it a little bit simpler. What is this? This is for the finger part here, and this is in the thumb, the shadow of the thumb, and it is here. Okay, so I can't work on darker shades like this. Just have to let it dry, and then the next layers will make more sense, but not these ones. Of course, there's certain pleasure in painting with utmost details and all, but as I said, painting is something which requires a lot of patience. Okay, sometimes patience means waiting for a day or two. It looks like hands of a pretty old lady, like witches, something like that. At least that's how it is shown in movies and all. Very fine and minute things. That is what brings a painting to life. So I'll keep it like this for the time being. Wait for it to dry. Then we'll work on it more. Hopefully, I'll be having enough patience at that time as well. Because this work needs patience, like next level patience. Okay. Hands can't be made in just one day. Oh, I've already spent 1 hour painting. Lovely. Just finding the highlights and marking them. Nothing more, okay? Probably it is not even visible to you what I'm doing right now. The light part where hmm, just drawing the light part and nothing else. Patience. if you're confused where to place these lights and shadows, just squint. You will be able to see the specific places which are lighter. Okay, and then just apply the color over those places. That's it. Don't worry about all these changes, these colors and all. They will make more sense once I apply the consecutive layers. Okay, here goes nothing. Yeah, so finally something is done. Okay. Done for the day. Yeah, done for the day. It's okay. I hope when I have even more patience, I'll be working a bit more on the fingers part. But it's looking pretty. I'm happy. Hakuna Matata. Wow. Anyways, see you guys around. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm tired as well, so won't be working much on anything at all. Good night, everyone. So this is, let me show you the progress. Okay. Sorry. Actually dropped the camera.